Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Khazar Shuktai. Today I'm going to solve O-Level Chemistry Paper 1-2 October-November 2019 with tips and tricks. Let's get into it. Question number 1. The concentration of the aqueous sodium carbonate can be found by reaction with HCl hydrochloric acid of known concentration. The indicator methyl orange is used. Which items of equipment are needed? 1. Burette measuring cylinder, gas syringe, burette measuring cylinder, thermometer, burette, pipette, conical flask. The last option is burette, pipette and stopwatch. You know that this sodium carbonate is a soluble base. It's a soluble base, and you know HCl is also a soluble acid. So we are going to mix them in the presence of an indicator. It means that we are going to perform a titration method, right? For titration method, we need 3 basic items of the equipment. Number 1, pipette. Number 2, burette. Number 3, the conical flask. So which item of the equipment are needed? That is the burette, pipette and conical flask. So C is the correct option. Question number 2. The diagram shows 3 stages 1, 2 and 3 used in the preparation of a salt. Stage 1, spatula having the reactants. It may be more than one, and it's going to solubilize some of this compound, some of the solid into this liquid. And the next one is, this is the filtration mechanism, filtration process in which we are going to separate the residue and the filtrate. The third one, we are going to heat the filtrate. Obviously this heating is going to be done for the purpose of crystallization. Which row correctly describe the solubilities both of the reactant and the salt form in this preparation? You know that first of all we just solubilize the whole mixture, and some of the component was insoluble and other one was a soluble and so on. So the option 1, both are soluble. No, both are not soluble. You know that both are not soluble. Both are not soluble. It's wrong. One is soluble, other one is insoluble. So one soluble, one insoluble, you can say yes, these are the 2 possible correct options. And what about the salt that is being formed? Here is a salt that is being formed, that is the soluble. Crystallization method is used for the soluble salt. So D is the correct option. D is the correct option in this case. Question number 3. The nucleon number of an atom is typically greater than its proton number. Question number 3. The nucleon number of an atom is typically greater than its proton number. The difference between these 2 numbers indicate the number of 1 in atoms. Atoms that have different nucleon numbers but the same proton numbers are called, what is this one? This, just fill in the blank. Which word correctly complete gap 1 and gap 2? In this case, you know it's isotope. Isotopes, atoms are having different nucleon numbers but same proton numbers are called the isotope. And the difference between these 2 numbers indicate the number of, what is the difference between over here? That is, the difference is because of the neutron, right? Once again, nucleon number of an atom is typically greater than its proton number. The difference between these numbers, why these 2 numbers are different? Nucleon number is the greater than the proton number. Why it is different? Because of the neutron. So 1 and 2, 1 is neutron, 2 is isotope. D is the correct option. Question number 4. Which 3 elements exist as diatomic molecule at room temperature? Diatomic molecule mean like Cl2, like H2, like N2, like O2, N, etc. and so on. So let's see over here, H2, oxygen, O2, helium is 1. No, not all are the diatomic. N2 Cl2, yes, these both, but neon is not diatomic. N2, O2, F2, yes. So C is the correct option. This line is having all the elements, those are diatomic. Which is pure compound? Question number 5. Dry air, ethanol, steel, petrol. Dry air is a mixture. Ethanol is a pure compound. Steel is a mixture. And petrol, gasoline is also a mixture. Petrol is a mixture, in fact, indeed. So B is the correct option. Question number 6. Which diagram best represents the structure of a solid metal? A solid metal. I mean, there must be the layers of the static positive ion, and there must be the delocalized electron as well. So a regular pattern of the positive ion, these two may be the correct options, and in this case there is delocalized electron between the layer of the positive ion. That is incorrect one. Delocalized electron are wandering, or here is the C of free or delocalized electron surrounding the whole layer of the positive ion, static positive ion. So there are the proper layers of the static positive ion and proper exhibition of notation of the electron. So D is the correct option. Question number 7. Hydrogen sulfide burn in excess oxygen according to the following equation. H2S plus oxygen goes to H2O gas, I mean steam, and SO2 gas. 2 mole of H2S, 3 mole of oxygen are going to react together to make 2 mole of steam and 2 mole of SO2. 48 dm cube of hydrogen sulfide is burned. 48 dm cube of hydrogen sulfide is burned. Which volume of sulfur dioxide will be formed at room temperature and pressure? You know that at room temperature and pressure, 1 mole of a gas is equal to 24 dm cube volume. So we can change volume into the moles back or mole into the volume by using this one formula. You know that here is 48 dm cube of H2S hydrogen sulfide that is going to burn. So I'm going to change into moles. As I told you, 24 dm cube is equal to 1 mole, and 48 dm cube will be equal to 1 over 24 into 48. I mean 2 moles. So in this case, once again, he is using 2 mole of H2S. 2 mole of H2S. If we are using 2 mole of H2S according to this balanced chemical equation, how much SO2 should be formed? That is again 2 mole. 2:2. H2S and SO2 are in 2:2. I mean same ratio. You can also say 1:1 in this case. And so the same amount of SO2 will be formed. Same mole of SO2 will be formed. Same volume of SO2 will be formed. I mean, if you are having 2 mole of SO2, you can convert into the volume. Again, you will get 48 dm cube by multiplying 2 mole with the 24. So again, same volume is answered. I mean, C is the correct option, 48 dm cube. Which statement about electrical conductivity is correct? Basically, electrical conductivity is because of the free electrons in normal elements, you can say, and or sometime you can say in the covalent elements and non-metallic elements. And it may be because of the free ions if the compound is the ionic one. So let's see which one option is the correct option. Covalent compounds such as glucose conduct when molten are dissolved in water. No, glucose never conduct electricity either in molten nor in its aqueous state. Dilute acids such as sulfuric acid conduct because all ions are free to move. Yes, it is true. Dilute acid is having ions, that is H positive ion and SO4 negative ion. These are aqueous ions, and these ions are free to move. So some covalent compound, those are water soluble, may conduct electric current because of the ions. Upon addition of H2SO4 into the water, this covalent compound change into, you can say the ionic compound. Ions are formed in this case. So as far as my opinion is concerned, B is the correct option. However, we can see that the C1 ionic compounds such as sodium chloride conduct due to the movement of electron. Sodium chloride conduct due to the movement of electron. No, there is no any sort of electron. Those can be delocalized in case of sodium chloride. Metals such as copper conduct due to movement of positive ion. No, copper can conduct but because of electrons. So once again it is confirmed that B is the correct option. Question number 9. Ammonia is manufactured from the nitrogen and hydrogen by the Haber process. N2 plus 3H2 goes to 2NH3. What is the percentage yield when 60 kg of the ammonia is produced from 60 kg of hydrogen? Once again, I am going to ignore these sort of units. For example, I'm going to suppose 60 gram is going to react, and let's suppose 60 gram is going to form in this whole procedure. So once again, I'm going to apply the percentage yield formula. The percentage yield is equal to experimental yield over calculated yield multiplied by 100. Experimental yield is given, that is 60, and I'm going to write it over here. Here is 100 for percentage. Now we have to calculate the expected or calculated yield. How much it should be formed actually, you can say by calculation, in fact indeed. So let's see over here. Initially it is using 60 gram of hydrogen, right? 60 gram. So hydrogen versus ammonia is the basically, you can say a comparison is over here. The question is between versus hydrogen and ammonia, and how much ammonia should be formed. I'm going to write NH3 over here, hydrogen over here, and I'm putting two information from the balanced chemical equation, and these are the masses. Masses of hydrogen and ammonia from the balanced chemical equation. You can see that the mass of H2 is equal to 2, 2 3s are 6. Total hydrogen that is going to use, and that is being used in this chemical equation, is equal to 6 gram. So 6 gram hydrogen is as compared to, according to this balanced as the chemical equation, we are using 6 gram of hydrogen. As a result, how much ammonia is going to form according to this balanced chemical equation? 2 mole of NH3, 2 into NH3, the mass of NH3 is equal to 17. So 34 gram should be formed. According to this chemical equation, when you are using 6 gram of hydrogen, at that time 34 gram ammonia should be formed. 34 gram ammonia should be formed. If we are using 1 gram, how much ammonia should be there? 34 over 6, and at the moment we are using 60, so multiply by 60. So you can say 10 over here, and 340 gram, or you can say the kilogram, should be formed in this case. So I'm going to write it over here, 60 over 340 into 100. So 60 divided by 340 into 100. 17.6. Answer is 17.6 percentage. So B is the correct option. So B is the correct option, and so on. Question number 10. What is the ratio of number of molecule in 71 gram of gaseous chlorine to the number of molecule in 2 gram of hydrogen, gaseous hydrogen? Once again, he is asking the number of particles. He is asking the number of molecules. He is asking the number of particles. So number of particle, you will have to find moles first. So moles can be changed into number of molecules, and so on. So first of all, I'm going to find the mole of chlorine, versus mole of hydrogen. 71 is the mass of chlorine, 2 gram is the mass of hydrogen, 71 divided by its MR, that is again 71, ratio 2 divided by MR of hydrogen, that is also 2. So 1 ratio 1. So the ratio of the moles is 1 ratio 1. Same ratio will be for the number of molecules. The ratio of mole is also the gesture of ratio of the atoms. You can say ratio of the molecules. And if they are having the same number of atoms, then yes, you can say the ratio of atom will also be the similar. So A is the correct option, 1 ratio 1. 11. The diagram shows apparatus for an electrolysis experiment. Using apparatus shown, which electrolyte would give colorless gases at both electrodes? There are the 2 electrodes, there are the inert electrodes, and here is the electrolyte, and so on. 2 gases and both gases, 2 gases I mean, and both should be the colorless gases. So in first, you can see that if we are going to electrolyze copper 2 sulfate, that is an aqueous one. So in this case, we will get copper, not the gas, solid. And because of sulfate, we will get oxygen gas. Because sulfate is less reactive than water, than OH negative ion. So oxygen is formed. First one is the incorrect option because here copper is going to form. In this case, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. So in this concentrated, once again, no, this time Cl2 is going to form and hydrogen is going to form. This Cl2 is not the colorless. Dilute sulfuric acid, in case of dilute sulfuric acid, one is the because of SO2, you can say, because of sulfate ion, it is oxygen, and because of the hydrogen, the next one is hydrogen gas. Yes, these both gases are the colorless gases, so C is the correct option. Which metal is most likely to be extracted from its molten chloride by use of electrolysis? The metal that is more active than carbon is usually extracted with the help of electrolysis. It cannot be extracted, it cannot be formed, it cannot be reduced by the smelting procedure. So which one is more active than carbon in this competition of 4 metals? The calcium one. Question number 13, 2 energy profile diagrams are shown. The scale on the y-axis is the same for the both diagrams. Which statement is correct? Both reactions are exothermic. No, almost both are endothermic. The energy level of the product is higher than that of the reactant. So these both are endothermic. Only one reaction is endothermic? No, both are endothermic. The energy of activation or activation energy of reaction 1 is smaller than energy of activation of the 2. Energy of activation is over here for reaction 1. Energy of activation is over here for reaction 2. Which one is the smaller? No, reaction 1 energy of activation is relatively larger than that of reaction 2. So it's wrong. And again, you are having the only one option, D. Enthalpy change of reaction 2 is larger than enthalpy change. Yes, here is this one is the enthalpy change. This one is the enthalpy change, delta H. And here is this one gap is demonstrating the enthalpy change. So yes, enthalpy change of reaction 2 is larger. So D is the correct option. Question number 14, ammonium nitrate dissolves in water according to this balanced chemical equation, that is having delta H is equal to positive 25 kilojoules per mole. Which statements are correct? The reaction is endothermic. Yes, it is true because the delta H is having positive integer answer in the positive integer. And the water gets colder using the reaction. Water gets colder. Yes, it is true because as in the case of endothermic reaction, heat is going to absorb from the surrounding and you will feel the system as the colder one. Yes, it is true. and heat energy is absorbed by ammonium nitrate from water. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. Heat energy is absorbed by the ammonium nitrate from the water. So that's why is going to water is going to become the colder one, right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. D is the correct option. Which statement about the photosynthesis is correct? Which statement about the photosynthesis is correct? What is the photosynthesis? Basically, you can say that it's when CO2 react with H2O in the presence of chlorophyll. Here is the formation of C6H12O6 plus O2 formation takes place. Oxygen is formed. So chlorophyll is acting as a catalyst in this mechanism basically. Oxygen is the product. Yes, it is true, right? Sunlight is the reactant. No, it's just giving the heat source, you can say, for the sake of a chemical reaction. And it's a condition you can say that. And so in this case, in this options of for A, B, C, D, the correct option is the B1. Oxygen is the product of this reaction. The next one, question number 16. In which reaction underlying substance reduced? Carbon, here is chlorine, here is magnesium, here is zinc, and so on. Carbon is going to change into CO. Here there is no oxygen, it is getting one oxygen, so it is going to oxidize. Cl2, once again, it is an oxidizing agent. It may reduce itself. It is an oxidizing agent. It will reduce. Yes, it is going to reduce. Here is 0, here is -1, and B is the correct option. B is the correct option, and so on. In the next options, magnesium is having 0, here it is having +2, so it is going to oxidize. Zinc, here is 0, here is +2, again, here this is the oxidation. So once again, it is confirmed that B is the correct option in which the underlying substance is going to reduce. Question number 17. Catalysts alter the rate of a chemical reaction. Which statements correctly describe the effect of adding catalyst to a reaction? Number 1. All reactant particles have more energy and move faster. No, there is no relationship of the energy and between, you can say, the catalyst. Catalyst never changes the energy of the particles. Number 2. Activation energy is lowered. Yes, it is true. And more reactant particle collide with enough energy to react. Yes, it is true. So the last two options are the correct options, and you can say that C is the correct one. Overall, C is the correct option, and so on. So come towards the next one. Question number 18. Question number 18. Okay. Solution T has the following properties. Solution T has the following properties, and it reacts with magnesium forming a gas. It reacts with the calcium carbonate forming a gas. So a solution is a compound solution T is having a compound that can react with metal like magnesium to make a gas, as far as O-level chemistry is concerned, or your syllabus is concerned, there should be an acid that is going to react with the metal, or there must be an H2O water or ethanol. These sort of stuff can react with the metal, magnesium metal, to make hydrogen gases that is going to be formed. Now the next one, it reacts with the calcium carbonate. So typically, the calcium carbonate, if any substance that is going to react with the calcium carbonate and it's going to make a gas, it should be the acid one. So it should be an acid. Which statement about the solution T is correct? It contains more OH negative ions than H positive ion, mean it's alkaline. No, it is not alkaline. It has pH 9. Again, it means that it should be alkaline. No, it is not an alkaline. Its reaction with calcium carbonate produce hydrogen. Yes, it is true. No, it's not true. I'm sorry. It will make carbon dioxide. It will make carbon dioxide. It reaction with aqueous ammonia. It react with aqueous ammonia. Yes, it will react with the aqueous ammonia for the formation of, as a result of neutralization for the formation of a salt. So D is the correct option. D is the correct option. As we have concluded that is an acid. So acid may react with ammonia to neutralize it. Question number 19. Which substance is soluble in water? Copper 2 carbonate. No, it's not soluble. Only group 1 carbonate and ammonium ion carbonate are water soluble. The next one is copper 2 oxide. Again, only the oxide of group 1 and few oxide of group 2 are water soluble. Copper hydroxides, this is not the soluble, because once again hydroxide of the group 1 and few hydroxide of the group 2 are soluble, and it's a copper's one. And the last one is copper nitrate. Yes, all nitrates are water soluble. So D is the correct option. 20. Which statement about the ammonia is correct? It is a colorless, odorless gas. Number 1. Yes, ammonia is colorless, but it is a pungent smell gas. It is not the odorless gas. So first one is the incorrect. It is a gas that turns damp blue litmus paper red. No, it turns red litmus paper to blue. So C1, it forms when potassium nitrate is heated with aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide and aluminium. Nitrate with sodium hydroxide with aluminium. Yes, this is basically the test of nitrate ion. Yes, it can be formed, it is produced when the potassium nitrate solution or any sort of nitrate is heated in the presence of aluminium foil and in the presence of sodium hydroxide. So C is the correct option. The next one is 21. The part of the product table is shown with 4 elements W, X, Y and Z. These are not the element actual symbols. Some pair of these elements may react to form a compound. Which formula are the correct? So W, X, Y and Z. W belongs to group 2, so it is having +2 charge, and X is having group number 3, it is having +3 charge. So they cannot react together. They both are the metal and they cannot make the chemical compounds. So A is the incorrect option. Come towards B. WY2 and WZ. W and Y is belongs to group number 7. W is having +2, Y is having -1. What is its formula? W1 and Y2. Yes, W1, Y2. This is the correct one. W and Z is belongs to group number 6. W is having +2 charge, and like oxygen, this family, Z belongs to the oxygen family. It is having -2. Positive, negative will cancel out, number are equal, we will cancel out, and simply speaking, this is WZ. So yes, it is also correct. So B is the correct option. The element in group 2, 22, in group 1 have similar chemical properties. Which statement explain this is true? They all are having metallic bond. No, this is not the reason. The chemical properties depend upon the outer shell electron or the number of last shell electron. They all have same number of complete electron shells. No, once again not. They all have same number of electron in their outermost shell. Yes, this is the basic and accurate reason. So C is the correct option. Question number 23. Helium and xenon are both noble gases. What is true for the both element? They are chemical inert. Yes, they both are chemical inert. So A or the B options are the correct option. The atoms have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Helium is not having 8 electrons, it's having 2 electrons. So that is incorrect. And overall, B is the correct option. 24. The ions of the metal X react with aqueous potassium iodide. From this information, it can be deduced that X is the most likely one metal and X2 positive ion aqueous ions are the second option. Which row correctly complete the gap 1 and 2? Once again, it's a colored one, you know that. And from this information, it can be deduced that X is the most likely one. One means it should be the transition element, ion or ion of the transition element. So C or D are the correct option. And the second one, X2 positive ion aqueous ions are reduced, are reduced. You can see that in this case, you can see that here is -1, here is +1. So it is changing from +2 to +1. So this is a sort of reduction. This is reduction, right? This is a sort of reduction. This is sort of reduction. So in this case, D is the correct option. Come towards 25 question. Which substance is a metal? It must having high melting point, yes, and conduct electricity when solid, yes, and when molten, again, yes. So C is the correct option. Which metal can be obtained from its oxide by using either carbon or hydrogen? So it must be less reactive than that of the carbon or hydrogen. Copper, yes, it is the less reactive from the both carbon and hydrogen. So A is the correct option. We can obtain pure copper from copper oxide by reacting with hydrogen or carbon, and that's, yes, it is a feasible reaction because copper is less reactive than both hydrogen and copper in the reactivity series. So A is the correct option. Which metal carbonate decomposes when heated? Metal carbonate decomposes when heated. Which carbonate is more stable to heat? You know, more reactive the metal, more stable its compound. More stable its compound. So now come toward this one. Calcium carbonate, copper carbonate, lead carbonate, and zinc carbonate. Which one is the most active metal? Calcium, copper, lead, or zinc? Obviously, it is the calcium one. So A is the correct option. 28. Iron is extracted from its ore in the blast furnace. Coke and limestone are also added to the blast furnace. What is the purpose of the limestone? You know, limestone is the calcium carbonate. Upon decomposition, by thermal decomposition, it is going to make calcium oxide and CO2. Basically, it is going to make this calcium oxide, that is the basic oxide, and this oxide react with the SiO2, that is an acidic one, that is the impurity present with the hematite, and it is going to make CaSiO3, the slag. So this is the basic purpose. Once again, here are 4 options: to decompose, to release oxygen, and to burn the coke, no. To decompose, release oxygen, to no. And to decompose, to neutralize the acidic impurities, yes. So C is the correct option. C is the correct option. Now come to the question number 29. Aluminium is extracted from the aluminium oxide by electrolysis. Which statement about this electrolysis is correct? Number 1, A option. Aluminium ions gains electron to form aluminium. Yes, it is true. Aluminium. Aluminium 3 positive ion plus 3 mole of electron goes to aluminium solid. So yes, it is true. Aluminium ions gain electron to make pure aluminium. So A is the correct option. Come towards question number 30. Steel is produced by blowing oxygen into pure molten iron. A student suggested 2 reasons why this process is carried out. Number one, oxygen removes some of the carbon from the impure iron. Yes, it is true. Oxygen oxidize iron 3, 2 into iron 3. No, this is not the correct one. So only one option is the correct option. And here is the B one. Question number 31. Z is the pollutant gas that is formed in internal combustion engine. An aqueous solution of Z is acidic. An aqueous solution of Z is acidic. The second one is Z is removed from the exhaust gases in catalytic converter by reduction by the reduction procedure. So what is Z? I mean, Z is the pollutant gas that is going to form from internal combustion engine and its solution is acidic. There may be SO2, NO2 and so on. SO2 or NO2 gases. Further one, it is removed by reduction. Yes, NO2 is reduced into N2, that is said to be the reduction. So NO2 is the correct option. And I mean NO2 and SO2 may be formed, those are the acidic gases from the internal combustion engine, and further they can be reduced, and you can say that in this option, in this case, in these option, appropriate option is the D option. Mainly it is NO2 gas. 32. The next question. A student investigates the properties of a colorless organic liquid. Colorless organic liquid. Which observations show that the liquid is unsaturated? So there must be a test for unsaturation. Mean if you are going to add aqueous bromine, it will decolorize the color of aqueous bromine. It decolorizes the aqueous bromine. Yes, it is correct one. This, the first one, A1 option is the correct option. 33. Alkanes are saturated compounds containing carbon and hydrogens only. Structure 1, 2, 3 and 4 are saturated hydrocarbons. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which pair of the structures are isomer? Isomer mean having the same molecular formula. They must have same number of carbon atoms, same number of hydrogen atoms, and thus their structure, their arrangement, their name should be the different. So in first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons are there, and this an alkane, so their hydrogen must be equal to 14. What about 2, 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons again are there, and hydrogen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1 and 2 are having the same molecular formula, right? And the structure is different. Yes, this methyl group, this CI3 group is present on the second carbon in the longest chain, and in this case this methyl group is present on the third carbon on the longest chain. So I mean the structure is also different. So 1 and 2 are the correct option. There is no need to check the further options. I mean it is confirmed that A is the correct option. 34. When butane react with bromine, which compound could be made? Butane, when it is allowed to react with bromine, there is the cleavage of one of the bond, that is the pi bond, I mean one of the double bond, and there is Br over here, Br over here, it must be over here, or if the butene is like butene, then both Br should be on the middle one. I mean Br are added, these two atoms are added after the removal of the breakage of the bond, and they are always present on the adjacent carbon atom with the neighboring carbon atom and so on. So which one option should be the correct one? Br should be at the adjacent position. So B is the correct option. Br, both Br cannot be with the same carbon, cannot be on the different carbon. I mean they must be on the adjacent carbon, on the direct neighboring carbon and so on. So all other options are incorrect and B is the correct option. 35. Which statement about the propene is correct? It can be formed by cracking butane. It can be formed from cracking butane. Yes, it can be. Yes, it can be butane C4H10, when we are going to crack it, and let's suppose we are going to make propene C3H6, what should be the remaining? CH4. Yes, it is possible. Yes, this is one of the product that is alkene. It can be made from the butane. So yes, this is the possible option. So A is the correct option in this case. However, you can see the next options. B1, it has the formula C3H8. No, it's wrong. It is a saturated hydrocarbon. No, it's wrong because it is propene. I mean, it is having double bond. It is an unsaturated. It reacts with hydrogen to form ethene. No, it will make propane. Not ethane, it will make propane. So again, D is also incorrect. Come toward question number 35. Which term describes the structure of pterylene? Pterylene, what is the pterylene? The polyalkane, no. Polyamide, no. Polyester, yes. Protein, no. So C is the correct option. Which process is involved in the formation of ethanol from ethene? Ethanol from ethene. I mean C2H4, we are going to synthesize C2H5OH. So the difference is, what is the difference between these two species? The difference is HOH mean water. The difference is water, right? So this is the addition reaction, addition of water and so on. So A is the correct option, that is said to be the addition reaction. Question number 38. Which compound is an alcohol? An alcohol mean compound has, if the compound is having COH group, simple carbon that is not having any sort of C double bond O. There may be carbon or hydrogen, there may be carbon or hydrogen, there may be carbon or hydrogen, you can say. So this alcohol, this functional group is said to be the alcohol, and B1 is having this sort of stuff. So yes, B is an alcohol. There is no OH group. This is not the alcohol. There is C double bond O, so it is carboxylic acid. And so once again, it is confirmed that B is the correct option. Question number 39. Which two compounds react together to form CH3, CH2, COO, CH3? That is an ester. So I am going to check it. I am going to write it over here once again. COO, CH3. If I am going to break this molecule from here, from CO linkage, so you can see that this portion is from alcohol. This portion is from alcohol, and the portion that is having both oxygen, it is from an acid. It is from an acidic group. So in this case, the acidic should be 3-carbon acid, that is the propanoic acid. Propanoic acid. And alcohol must be the 1-carbon alcohol, and it is methyl alcohol or methanol. Alcohol, or its other name is methanol. Methanol. So methanol plus propanoic acid, methanol plus propanoic acid, and D is the correct option. The last one question number 40. Which compound might be suitable to flavor a soft drink? To flavor a soft drink, it must be an ester. It must be an ester. So which one is the ester? Here is the ester. This is the indication of ester. COOCH3. I mean OCOC. There must be in structure OCOC. This is the basic group that is said to be an ester linkage or ester group. So A is the correct option. No one is having such group. I mean, the rest of all options are incorrect option. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.